Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Off Campus. In this video, we are going to see some important problems, previous year question paper problems in electronic devices and circuit. Before going into the video, kindly subscribe our channel Off Campus and then click on the bell icon also. Then only you will receive notifications whenever we upload videos. We all know that TNEB AE exam date is announced recently, so we are going to practice some problems in electronic EDC subjects. Okay, in this question I already posted in our channel. We will move on to this question. The resistivity of a uniformly doped n-type silicon sample is 0.5 omega centimeter. If the electron mobility mu n is 1250 centimeter square by volt second, and the charge of an electron is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. The donor impurity concentration Nd in the sample is. We need to find out the Nd. Nd is nothing but donor impurity concentration. What is in the question? What is given? Resistivity for n type now. So n type silicon. So rho n is equal to 0.5 omega centimeter. Then mobility mu n equal to the given value 1250 centimeter squared into divided by volt second. Then charge of an electron is nothing but Q. Q is equal to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. First we know we need to find out the Nd. Nd is donor impurity concentration. What is the formula relation between these values and the donor impurity concentration? We'll see. We know that rho n, resistivity, is inversely proportional to conductivity. Rho n is equal to 1 by sigma n, where sigma n, we know that sigma n formula is nothing but Nd q mu n. Okay, Nd q mu n. Just substitute all these values and then find out the value for Nd. So we know that first we'll find out the sigma n value. See, then what is Nd? From that 1 by rho n. See, from this, what is Nd? 1 by rho n. Okay, rho n will go to the in the denominator, 1 by rho n into q mu n. So just substitute all the given values and then find out the donor impurity concentration as 1 into 10 power 16 per centimeter cube. Okay, this is a direct question. Option B is the right option. Just substitute all the values in that formula. Then next question. The forward dynamic resistance of a junction diode varies dash as the forward current. So forward dynamic, what is the relation between forward dynamic resistance with forward current? What is the formula? R, forward dynamic resistance, R is nothing but dV by di. So where dV is equal to eta Vt by I, R is indirectly proportional to current. Okay, so whenever I increases, R decreases, I decreases and R increases. So dynamic resistance is inversely proportional to the forward current. Then move on to the next question. The cutoff wavelength in micrometer of light that can be used for intrinsic excitation of a semiconductor of material of band gap Eg is equal to 1.1 electron volt is. What is given? We need to find out the cutoff wavelength. That should be in the micrometer. Okay, cutoff wavelength is nothing but lambda c. That should be in the micrometer. So what is the relationship between lambda c and lambda and Eg, energy band gap? Okay, this is nothing but lambda is equal to, this is a derivation, 1.24 divided by Eg in micrometer unit. So how it comes? Eg equal to h nu. So this value, sorry, so just substitute Eg value is equal to 1.1 electron volt here. Then find out the cutoff wavelength as 1.24 divided by 1.1, we will get 1.12 micrometer. Then move on to the next question. The configuration of cascode amplifier. See the question very carefully. Cascode amplifier is CE-CB. 4 different options are given. Configuration of cascode is nothing but CE and CB. Common emitter followed by common base. So we'll see in detail. two-stage multi-stage amplifier, we will have three different combination CE-CE, CE-CB, CC-CC. So, CE-CE is known as cascade amplifier. See carefully, cascade. Cascade means both common emitter. Cascode means CE-CB. CE-CB means CE-CB means cascode. Then CC-CC is nothing but Darlington pair. In that question, what is given? CE-CB is nothing but cascode amplifier is nothing but the combination of CE and CB. Then we'll move on to the next question. The impurity commonly used for realizing the base region of a silicon NPN transistor is. So we need to find out the impurity commonly used for the base region of the silicon NPN transistor. We need to be very careful while reading the question. Okay, 4 different options are given. We'll see. In general, NPN transistor to 3 leads. NPN, emitter, base, collector. In that, see, we need to find out the base region. Which type of semiconductor we are going to use? Which type of impurity commonly used for this is silicon semiconductor. We need to find out for the base region which type of impurity is used. Okay. So here NPN. In general, emitter, base, collector. So base is P means positively charged. So whenever P type, base is P type means usually P type means which impurity? We know 2 impurities, pentavalent and trivalent impurities. Trivalent for P type, whereas pentavalent used for N type. Here given as base region. Base region is P type. P type means trivalent impurities. What we know trivalent impurities? What are all the impurities in trivalent impurities? Gallium, indium, boron. Gallium, indium, boron. Okay. In that, boron is commonly used. In that, see, gallium also given, indium also given, boron also given, and phosphorus. Phosphorus is for pentavalent impurity. So from that, base is P type. P type means trivalent. All 3 are trivalent impurities. But most commonly used, see the question, commonly used is boron. So boron is the right option. Then the full forms of the abbreviations of TTL and CMOS in reference to logic families are, we know the transistor logic TTL, where CMOS for complementary metal oxide semiconductor. So transistor logic and complementary metal oxide semiconductor. Option C is the right option. This one. Okay. We'll move on to the next question. When the optical power incident on photodiode is 10 microwatt and the responsivity R equal to 0.8 ampere per watt, then the photocurrent generated is in microamps. So we need to find out the photocurrent value. So what is the formula? Responsivity R is equal to photocurrent IP divided by incident power P naught. So R is equal to IP by P naught. Okay. So what is given? Responsivity R value we know. We need to find out the current. Photocurrent means IP value. Then what is the power? Incident power 10 microwatt. Just substitute this value, then find out the IP value as 8 microamperes. We'll move on to the next question, that is in a Zener diode. In a Zener diode, see the options, only P region is heavily doped, only N region is heavily doped, both P and N regions are heavily doped, both P and N regions are lightly doped. In a ZN diode, both P and N regions are heavily doped. On to the next problem. For a BJT, the common base current gain alpha is equal to 0.98 and the collector base junction reverse bias saturation current is ICO is equal to 0.6 microamperes. This BJT is connected in the common emitter mode and operated in the active region with the base drive current IB is equal to 20 microamperes. The collector current IC for this mode of operation is. So details are, all the data are given. We need to find out finally the collector current. What is given? What is the formula actually? IC is equal to, collector current is equal to beta IB plus 1 plus beta into ICO. because reverse saturation current is given. So this is the formula. So alpha value given, ICO value and IB value given, we need to find out the IC value. So this is the formula, IC is equal to beta IB plus 1 plus beta into ICO. So we know the alpha value only, we need to find out the all values we know. IB is given, ICO is also we know. What we need to know to find out the collector current, beta value. So beta value how to find out? From alpha value we can find. What is the relation between beta is equal to alpha divided by 1 minus alpha? Just substitute, find out the alpha value as beta value as 49. Then thus substitute beta value and all the values in this equation formula, will find out the IC is equal to 1.01 milliamperes. Okay, we'll move on to the next problem. This question and this question we already posted in that video, kindly check. We'll move on to this problem. In case of a class A amplifier, the ratio of efficiency of a transformer coupled amplifier to efficiency of a transformer less amplifier is. So read the question carefully. In case of a class A amplifier, what we need to find out? The ratio of the efficiency of transformer coupled amplifier to efficiency of transformer less amplifier. We need to find out the ratio of transformer coupled to transformer without transformer. Okay, all will see all class A power amplifiers except transformer coupled power amplifier will give 25% maximum efficiency. All class A amplifiers except transformer coupled is given efficiency as 25% at the max. So what that if transformer coupled amplifier, how the efficiency will be? For a transformer coupled amplifier, class A power amplifier will give eta max as 50% efficiency. So we need to find out the transformer coupled with transformer without transformer and with transformer. So with transformer this is 50% efficiency, without means 25%. Okay, just the ratio 2, 50 by 25. So option A is the right option. Then this problem also we have posted previously, kindly check. Then this one, the DC current gain beta of a BJT is 50. Assume that the emitter injection efficiency is 0.995. The base transport factor is, we need to find out the base transport factor. We know one relation with efficiency. What efficiency? Emitter injection efficiency and base transport factor and that alpha. Okay, so alpha is equal to gamma star into beta star. It is not just a beta. Beta is different from beta asterisk, beta star, where beta is a current gain. This is base transport, beta star is base transport factor, where gamma star is emitter injection efficiency. Alpha is nothing but common base DC current gain. So we know the value of what we need to find out? Base transport factor beta star. So we what is given? We need to find out the beta star. Gamma star is given. Okay, then beta value is given. So from that formula, what we need to know? Alpha value will find out from the beta value. Beta value is 50. Yes, see, beta value is 50. From that beta, what is the relation? Alpha equal to beta divided by 1 plus beta. So this one is nothing but 50 divided by 51. Alpha is equal to, can you understand this formula? Gamma star into beta star. So alpha is nothing but beta divided by 1 plus beta. So 50 by 51 is equal to 0.995 emitter injection efficiency, value given in the problem, into beta star. So just substitute and cancel this. We will find out the beta value as beta star, base transport factor as 0.985. Okay, all are just directly apply the all formulas, direct substitution only, no need to worry. Then we'll move on to the next problem. The N channel JFET has IDSS is equal to 2 milliamperes. and Vp equal to minus 4 volt. Its transconductance Gm in millisiemen. Okay. For an applied gate to source voltage VGS of minus 2 volts is. So we need to find out the Gm value, right? Transconductance value Gm in millisiemen. We need to find out. So what are all given? What is the formula? Gm is equal to GMO into 1 minus VGS by Vp. What is GMO? GMO is nothing but maximum transconductance. This is a transconductance where GMO is nothing but maximum transconductance with VGS is equal to 0 volt. Okay. So GMO formula is 2 IDSS divided by modulus Vp. See here modulus Vp. So just apply this formula. First we'll find out the GM value we need to find out now. So instead of GMOs just substitute 2 IDSS by modulus Vp into 1 minus VGS by Vp. So VGS is given as minus 2 volt. Vp is equal to minus 4 volts when IDSS is equal to 2 milliamp. Just substitute all this value 2. Whenever modulus will take only the positive value. So rest of the things will be same. Just substitute all values here. Okay. Modulus minus 4 will take plus 4 only. 2 into 2 4 cancelled, right? Here 10 power minus 3. Then 1 minus VGS by Vp. Minus 2 by minus 4. This thing. Okay. Then by substituting Gm value we will get 0.5 millisiemen, or otherwise this is also another unit for Gm, transconductance value, milliamperes per volt. Okay. Then next question. In a MOSFET amplifier of the figure is the signal output V1 and V2 obey the relationship. So we'll find out the V1 and V2 relationship. Okay. We'll see. So V1, first we'll find out the V2 value, V1 and V2 value. So we'll from G to ground. So this is gate, this is source, this is drain, gate, drain, source. Okay. This is a MOSFET, right? Then see V1 is G to ground, this terminal D to ground, V1, see voltage across this to this. Okay. D to ground, V1. Here V2 is source to ground, this terminal to ground. So this terminal to ground, V2 is nothing but, see here also we'll see.
கேயா வந்து கடைக்கு போய் என்னவோ வாங்கிட்டு வரப்போதான், நான்வெஜ் வாங்காமல் இருன்னு கெஞ்சிட்டேனா நீ மிரட்டுனா தான் அதை சொல்லு.
V1 to ground. So D terminal to ground value. So from this also we can find, this is very tedious. From this terminal and this terminal we need to find, see only the V1 now. We are talking about V1. So by seeing his D terminal to, this is also connected to ground only, right? Ground only. Okay. What is the current flowing through? ID. Okay. This to this. From D to this. So actually this to this only given. From D terminal to ground only V1 is V1 across. Okay. We can find from this to this terminal one. This D terminal to this is connected to ground, but it is opposite flowing current. Current is flowing this direction, but we are going to find out from this direction. So it is opposite. So V1 is nothing but IR means minus IDRD. Just a negative potential. Can you understand, guys? V1 is equal to IDRD. Then what is V2? V2 is very simple. Whenever by taking this from this terminal, we need to consider this terminal, a drain terminal and source terminal for V1. For simplification, we are considering from this to ground. Okay. Just potential is sign is different, minus IDRD. This is against the sign, sorry, opposite to that flow. Current flow is different direction. So this is V1. Then what is V2? From source terminal to ground terminal is V2. V2. So here there is no terminal. So the same current will flow through this terminal also. Okay. ID. So V2 is also, V2 is equal to ID into what is the resistance? RD by 2. Okay. So V1 and V2. V1. Okay. In place of IDRD, we can place this as minus V1, right? V2 is equal to IDRD is nothing but minus V1. So V2 is equal to minus V1 by 2. Okay. Then what is V1? V1 is minus 2V2 from this. Okay. So this one V1 is equal to minus 2V2. Option D is the right option. This is the answer. From see V1 plus D to ground. ID current is flowing but in opposite direction. So V1 is equal to minus ID or D. What is the same current flowing through this terminal from drain to source? So ID also flowing through source terminal also. So what is V2? ID into RD by 2. The same direction only we are taking. Here from this to this we are taking. Here the same direction only we are taking. So V2 is S2 source to ground, V2 is equal to ID RD by 2. Just substitute V2 is equal to minus V1 by 2. From that V1 is equal to minus 2V2. We'll move on to the next question. An N-channel JFET has IDSS equal to 1 milliamperes and VP is equal to minus 5 volts. Its maximum transconductance is, what is the actually maximum transconductance? GMO. So GM equal to GMO into 1 minus VGS by VP. We know the value of GMO is nothing but what is the formula? 2 into IDSS divided by modulus VP. So GMO is nothing but maximum transconductance GM with VGS is equal to 0 volt. Okay, just substitute IDSS as 1 milliamp, VP minus 5. IDSS value 1 milliamperes. Here VP is minus 5. Modulus means we only take positive value. Then milliampere per volt or millisiemens. Okay, GMO value. Just apply this formula. Substitute the values and then find out. Then this question also we have discussed earlier. This is also we have discussed. We'll move on to the next question. If you haven't seen those videos, still kindly check with the playlist and videos tab. In MOSFET devices, the N-channel type is better than P-channel type in the following respect. Usually N-channel type is better than P-type. What is the actual? It is faster because see mobility of the N-type is for it may be silicon or germanium. So mobility for N-type C 1300, 3800. For P-type 1500 only. This is 1800 only. So mobility of the electrons is more. So it is faster. N-type is better than P-type. The reason is mobility of the electron is more. Then the transit time of the current carriers through the channel of an FET devices decides its dash characteristics. The transit time of the current carriers through the channel of an FET decides its switching characteristics. Actually, what is the transit time? Transit time is the time required for a charge carrier to cross the channel region from source to drain region. From source to drain region, the time required, that time is nothing but transit time. That transit time determines the switching characteristics. We'll move on to the next problem. When the gate to source voltage VGS of a MOSFET with a threshold voltage of 400 millivolt working in saturation is 900 millivolt. The drain current is observed to be 1 milliamperes. Neglecting the channel length modulation effect and assuming that the MOSFET is operating at the saturation region, the drain current for an applied VGS of 1400 millivolt is. Read the question very carefully. What is given? Gate to source voltage is nothing but VGS given and also threshold voltage also given. VGS is VGS of a MOSFET with threshold voltage is 400. VT is equal to 400 millivolt where VGS is 900 millivolt. Okay, just write down this value. Then what is given? What else given? Drain current is nothing but ID is equal to 1 milliamps. What is also given? Neglecting the channel length modulation effect And assuming the transistor operates in the saturation region, we need to find out the drain current value for VGS 1400 millivolt. See, for 900 millivolt, the drain current is 1 milliamperes. So we need to, the threshold voltage is same only, okay? That is not going to be changed. Then we need to find out the VGS value will be, when it will be 1400 millivolt, then what is the, which one? ID current, drain current value will find out. So first what is given, VT value given, VG value is, when 900 it is ID current, drain current is 1 milliamperes. If VG is 1400 millivolt, we need to find out the drain current value. So what is the relationship between ID and VGS? We'll see. ID is equal to beta by 2 VGS minus VT the whole squared. ID is equal to beta by 2 into VGS minus VT the whole squared. What is given? Neglecting the channel length modulation effect. So this is a beta is a channel length modulation where we are going to neglect that portion. Then ID is directly proportional to VGS minus VT the whole squared. So this is VG2, this is VG1, ID1, this is ID2. From that we need to find out the new ID2 value, or new ID or ID2 value, okay? Just substitute this formula, ID2 by ID1 equal to VGS2 minus VT the whole square, VGS1 minus VT the whole square. So VGS2 is 1400. Now this is VGS1, VGS2, this is ID1. We are going to find out the ID2. The threshold voltage is same. Just substitute this value, 1400 minus 400, ID2, ID1 value 1 milliampere, so ID2 by ID1 divided by VGS1. VGS1 is, this is 900. 900 minus 400. Just substitute all value, will find out the ID2 value as 4 milliamperes. Okay. We'll move on to the next problem. In figure, A1, A2 and A3 are identical ammeters. If A1 reads 5 amperes, A2 reads 12 amperes, then A3 should read. So what is given? See the figure, A1, this one. This is A1, this is A2, this is A3, right? So both all three are identical ideal ammeters. A1 is 5 and A2 is 12. We need to find out the A3 value. So we'll see how to find out. So I1 RMS flowing through the current is 5 amperes, I2 RMS is 12 amperes, I3 RMS will see square root of I1 square plus I2 square. So 5 square plus 12 square will get I3 RMS as 13 amperes. Then we'll move on to the next problem. The measured transconductance GM of an NMOS transistor operating in the linear region is plotted against the gate voltage VG at constant drain voltage VD. Which of the following figures represents the expected dependence of GM on VG? So we need to find out the which one is plotted against GM and VG. So what is given? It is operated in the linear region. Linear region is otherwise called as triode region. GM on VG. What is GM and VG relationship? GM equal to dou ID by dou VG. So this is one. First, whenever we increasing GM, it will go on increasing up to the saturation point, then will start decreases. So this is the transfer characteristic, linear region of transfer characteristic, which matches them option A. Then move on to the next one. At temperature 300 Kelvin, the whole mobility of a semiconductor mu p is equal to 500 centimeter squared by volt second and kT by Q equal to 26 millivolt. The whole diffusion constant dP in centimeter squared per second is, what is given? Temperature value given, mu p value given, kT by Q value given, and dP we need to nothing but diffusion constant. dP value we need to find out. Okay, what is the relationship, Einstein relationship of thermal voltage? We have already posted the relationship, Einstein relationship of thermal voltage. Based on this relationship, we have posted 2 or 3 problems in our playlist or video list. Kindly check in our channel. That will be helpful to understand this problem better. So we'll check. Okay, so we'll come to this is the Einstein relationship of thermal voltage. Vt is equal to kT by q equal to dn by mu n dp by mu p equal to temperature in degree Kelvin divided by 11,600. So what is given? Mu p value we know, dp value we need to find out, and Vt value we given us. Vt value is kT by q. So kT by q, take this one. This is p type. Now kT by q is equal to dp by mu p. kT by q value is 26 millivolt. So we need to find out the dp value. Now dp is equal to into mu p. We'll go to that side, then multiply by, substitute this value to as 26 millivolt. Then mu p value is 500, right? 500. By simplifying, we will get dp is equal to 13 centimeter square per volt second. Then move on to the next one. The quiescent collector current IC of a transistor is increased by changing the resistances. As a result, 4 different options are given. GM will not be affected, GM will decrease, GM will increase, GM will increase or decrease depending on bias stability. So what is given? Quiescent collector current IC is increased by changing the resistance. Then how the GM is nothing but transconductance. So what is the relationship GM and IC? GM is equal to modulus IC by Vt. So it is directly proportional. Whenever IC increases, GM also going to get increased. So GM will increase. What is given? Collector current is increased. Increased means GM will be automatically increased. We'll move on to the next problem. An N-type silicon sample is uniformly illuminated with a light generates 10 power 20 electron hole pairs per centimeter cube per second. The minority carrier lifetime in the sample is 1 microsecond. In the steady state, the whole concentration in the sample is. So, read the question carefully. What is given? Uniformly illuminated with a light generation rate. Generation rate given as 10 power 20 electron hole pair per centimeter cube per second. The minority carrier lifetime value also given. We need to find out the whole concentration. So what is the formula? Generation rate, sorry, we are not finished the question still. In the sample is approximately 10 power x means where x is an integer, any integer, value of x we need to find out. So what is the relationship between generation rate is equal to excess minority carrier concentration divided by minority carrier lifetime. This is the formula, read it carefully. Generation rate is equal to excess minority carrier divided by minority carrier lifetime. So it is G is equal to del P by tau P. Okay. Generation rate given as 10 power 20 electron hole per centimeter cube per second, given in the problem itself, right? What is generation rate? 10 power 20 electron hole pair is nothing but EHP per centimeter cube per second. Okay, here. Okay. Then minority carrier lifetime value is 1 microsecond. So minority carrier lifetime value we know. So from that we'll find out we need to find out the x value. Okay. So del P, from that del P means excess minority carrier concentration value as 10 power 20 into 10 power minus 4, what 20 minus 4, 10 power 14. So actually what is 10 power x? The whole concentration. This is excess minority carrier concentration given as 10 power x. Del P value also given as 10 power x. What we get? 10 power 14 is equal to 10 power x. Then we need to find out the x value na. Value of x is nothing but base is also same. So x equal to 14. Okay. We'll move on to the next problem. A silicon sample A is doped with 10 power 18 atoms per centimeter cube of boron. Another sample B of identical dimensions is doped with 10 power 18 atoms per centimeter cube of phosphorus. This is should be very careful while reading question. So doped with boron, this is doped with phosphorus. The impurity concentration, impurity, whether it is trivalent and pentavalent, depends upon the type, which type, whether it is N type semiconductor or P type. From the impurities only we are going to find out. So doping concentration for different reasons are given. Then the ratio of electron to hole mobility is 3. The ratio of conductivity of the sample A to B we are going to find out. So first we'll see doping concentration is given, that is doped with boron means P type. So it is dP. dP is equal to 10 power 18 atoms per centimeter cube. Then another sample, it is sample A, this is sample B, doped with phosphorus means N type. So Dn is equal to 10 power 18, the same thing only given. So what is also given, ratio of electron to hole mobility. Electron means N, hole means P. So mu N by mu P ratio is 3. We need to find out the conductivity, ratio of conductivity of the sample A to B is. So conductivity means sigma A by sigma B. Okay, we need to find out the so this value is given in the problem. Then what we need to find out, conductivity of sigma A to sigma A divided by sigma B. What is sigma A actually? Sigma A is sample A. Sample A is, we need to find out N type or P type? P type. So sigma P. Then what is B? Sigma B is doped with phosphorus means this is N type. So sigma N. So conductivity is sigma P by sigma N. So sigma P is nothing but conductivity formula, we know that NaQ mu P. This is acceptor concentration, impurity concentration. This is donor impurity concentration. Sigma N is NdQ mu N. Okay, this is NaQ mu P, this is NdQ mu N. So these and this get cancelled, mu P and mu N, mu P divided by mu N, where mu N divided by mu P is given as 3 means what is mu P by mu N? So NaNd is nothing but doping concentration. Doping concentration this only. NaNd is nothing but dP and Dn only. Both are same. Anyway, they are going to get cancelled. Okay. Same value na going to get cancelled and Q also getting cancelled. So we'll get sigma P by sigma N is equal to mu P by mu N. As a result, we are getting this only. Then what is mu P by mu N? They are giving mu N to mu P as 3, then mu P by mu N 1 by 3. Then what is actually sigma A to sigma B is nothing but 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 is the right option. Then in an intrinsic semiconductor, the free electron concentration depends on 4 different options are given. Effective mass of electrons only, effective mass of holes only, temperature of the semiconductor, width of the forbidden energy band of the semiconductor. In an intrinsic semiconductor means the free electron concentration depends on the temperature of the semiconductor. So what is the relationship to the intrinsic concentration with the temperature? Ni squared is equal to A naught T cube e power minus Eg naught by kT. So intrinsic concentration related to temperature T. So temperature of the semiconductor. We'll move on to the next question. The drain current of a MOSFET in saturation is given by ID is equal to K into VGS minus VT the whole squared, where K is a constant. The magnitude of the transconductance. So ID value is given, we need to find out the GM value. So GM is nothing but dou ID by dou VGS. So what is ID value? K into VGS minus VT the whole square. This is given in the question itself. Then just this is a basic partial differentiation. Partial differentiate this equation with respect to VGS. So dou ID by dou VGS, which is nothing but GM, right? So by anything x square, this is a basic differentiation. If see, this is y and this is x square means what is dou y by dou x? 2x na, the same thing. 2 into k into this thing, okay? 2k into VGS minus VT, simple derivation only, differentiation only. Gm which is equal to Gm is equal to 2k into VGS minus VT. Option B is the right option. Then move on to the next problem. For the given circuit, the output voltage V0 is, so we are going to find out the V0. V0 is nothing but I1 R2. So it will not go to the input of the, whenever it is not mentioned, this is an ideal op amp. Ideal op amp will not, the current will not flow through this inside the op amp. So V0 is this terminal to this grounds, it is nothing but I1 into R2. V0, very simple, I1 R2. Then common emitter short circuit current gain beta of a transistor. So 4 different options are given which relate to common emitter short circuit current gain beta of a transistor with related with IC, collector current, the relationship between beta and IC. So 4 different options are given. Current gain will increases with IC for low IC reaches maximum and then decreases with further increases in IC. This is nothing but whenever IC increases to the level, after the saturation point it will start decreases. So this option C is the right option. Then we'll see. The longest wavelength that can be absorbed by silicon, which has the band gap of 1.12 electron volt, is 1.1 micrometer. Lambda value is 1.1 micrometer. Eg value, band gap is nothing but 1.12 electron volt. If the longest wavelength that can be absorbed by another material, if lambda value is 0.87 micrometer, then what will be the band gap energy of the material? For this value, the lambda value is this. If the lambda value is 0.87, then what will be the energy gap? We are going to find out. So Eg1 is 1.1 electron volt, lambda 1 is 1.1 micrometer. Lambda 2 value given 0.87 micrometer. We are going to find out the Eg2 value. So what is the relationship? We have already seen the form problem based on this method previously. Eg is equal to 1.24 divided by lambda, that should be in the micrometer. Okay, this derivation, how the derivation will come? This is the simplest derivation. How actually, where it actually comes from, we'll see. Eg is nothing but h into nu. Nu is nothing but c by lambda, right? Nu value. So h is nothing but Planck's constant, that is 6.626 into 10 power minus 34. This is the unit meter square kilogram per second. Then c is nothing but velocity of light, 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. So then substitute this value, these two multiplication, we will get 1.24 divided by that lambda equal to Eg. So by simply substituting the multiplication, we will get 1.24 divided by lambda. That lambda value should be in the micrometer. So this is the relationship. This is how we are getting this one. Just now what we going to do? We are going to do just substitute this lambda true value, that is also given in micrometer. So no need to worry. Just substitute 1.24 divided by 0.87. We'll find out the energy band gap Eg. So just substitute 0.87, 1.416 electron volt. Okay. Then, a thin p-type silicon sample is uniformly illuminated with light, which generates excess carriers. The recombination rate is directly proportional to. So, already we have seen that problem based on the numerical problem in that 2 to 3 problems before. What is the recombination or generation rate? Recombination of electrons in p-type semiconductors is del n by tau n, because it is p-type na, so del p by tau p. So excess minority carrier concentration divided by minority carrier lifetime. What is given in the question? Recombination rate is directly proportional to. So directly proportional to excess minority carrier concentration and indirectly proportional to minority carrier lifetime. So recombination of the electron rate is directly proportional to excess minority carrier concentration. Okay. Okay, we'll end up the videos up to this. Kindly subscribe our channel Off Campus and then click on the bell icon also. If you haven't seen, we have posted many videos under different subjects in electronics and communication engineering. If you haven't seen those videos still, kindly check with the playlist. And as I told